All right. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Thanks for being here. All right. All right. Great. All right. Hey, everyone. Okay. Let me set this up. All right. So basically, the goal here is lately I've been working on a free expansion to my turn-based strategy course, trying to add multi-level support. And right now I'm still in the research phase, and the one thing that I need to research right now is basically how am I going to handle the pathfinding links for the various floors, as well as how to handle the visibility. So that's pretty much my goal for this live stream. I need to do this research, so I might as well do it live. So, all right, thank you for being here, and let's get to it, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. All right, okay. So first of all, just trying it out. And yep, okay, so here is the game, pretty basic, and basically I implemented, did I hide that one? Okay, apparently I hide that one. Yeah, so I basically just implemented some nice links, so this character can go up to the second floor or down to the first one, really great. All right, except the issue right now is that the link is pretty much fixed, so that's the first thing that I want to handle. I want to be able to, why was that one invisible? Did I modify that? Oh, right, I was testing out the floor visibility. Right, that's why. So let me actually disable this for now. I'll work on the visibility afterwards. For now, I don't want that. For now, I first just want to handle the pathfinding links. So on that one I click, I can go up, and there you go, jumps up, and he jumps down. Okay, great. All right, so the first thing that I want is to handle the pathfinding links. And for that, of course, I'm learning to make multiplayer. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, multiplayer used to be so tricky, but nowadays, thanks to all these awesome tools, multiplayer is super easy nowadays. Well, as easy as can be. That's it. Multiplayer is always tricky, but thanks to the tools, now it is much easier. All right. Been watching your videos for I don't know how many years now. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thanks for being here for so long. Just popped in and tell you you're awesome. Ah, thank you. Hey, I'm glad you like the videos. I hope the videos have been very helpful in those so many years. All right, okay. Hey, and a custom character. Hey, Chilius. Hey, nice. Thanks. Okay, right. So let me, first of all, remember how I was handling the pathfinding links. So where's my script? Here it is, and I had, yeah, right. I made the pathfinding links where I've got the AB, and I just made it manually, right? Yep, exactly. Pretty much I got a list of pathfinding links and I just manually created them. Okay. So now I would want some way to show this in the editor. So let me actually, I gotta make it serializable, right? Yeah, but let's make first a new C# script for the pathfinding link and call it mono behavior so that it shows up as a component. It's on S like ultimate character controller. Personally, I normally stick with simpler assets, so I prefer assets that do just one tiny thing and do it very well. So I'm not necessarily, personally, I don't really tend to use super complex character controllers that do a billion things, but that's just me, that really depends. Some people really like having some pre-made things with tons and tons of features, so if you're like that, then by all means go ahead and use it. So it pretty much depends on, do you like doing things from scratch, or do you need something extremely advanced? Because if you do something extremely advanced that is going to take you several months to build, then yeah, picking up a ready-made tool will definitely help. So yeah, basically the answer is depends on you. Maybe for you it's great, or maybe it might be best to build it from scratch. So sorry, but yeah, there's no objective answer. Right, so if you're here, let me make a serialized field of type pathfinding link for the pathfinding link. And I need to mark this as serializable, so serializable, all right? And just with this, you have to on screen. Yeah, nice. Thanks for answering. Yeah, of course. Go to gym. Yeah, of course, I love it. All right, so let me try making a simple empty game object for, ah, crap. I pressed Control P instead of Shift P. For a pathfinding link. And let me add the pathfinding link, not this one, not this one. The mono behavior, okay. Oh, right. Is it because it's it's got grid positions? Oh, right. So I need to make the grid position serializable as well. All right, that's interesting. Or actually, no. Okay, that's an interesting question. Make our videos in dark mode. Sorry, no, I can't. Dark mode burns my eyes. If I look at it for more than a second, my eyes start to bleed. So, sorry, nope, can't do it. Right, so the issue here is I would like to make a editor tool in order to be able to visualize the grid position links. Except, should I be using grid positions? I probably shouldn't. So, yeah, let me actually modify this. So instead of having a pathfinding link, I think I should probably have a vector 3 for the link position A, and another one for the link position B. So have this instead of that one. And yep, now I got 2 vector 3s, and basically now I'm going to position them. Okay, so this might be best, and then I convert those into grid positions, and hopefully that should work. But okay, all right, so let's try this, and then maybe I will see, perhaps the grid position works best. So anyways, just researching, so start with this, and then we'll see. Okay, so now the thing is I gotta refer to my own tutorial in order to remember how do I add the position handles, and apparently I have to use onScene GUI and then use handles.positionHandle. All right, so let's try this out. But does this have to be in an editor script? That's my question. Private void onScene GUI. Does this one only exist in the editor? Is this going to throw an error? I'm not sure. Yeah, actually, editor tools, one of those things that haven't really worked with it too much. Yeah. Is netcode considered best solution for multiplayer? I mean, what about Photon Mirror? I've only used netcode, so I can only say that one is great, depending on the types of games that you want to make. But from what I've heard, pretty much all of them are excellent. So, yeah, I would say, oh, why am I playing the game? There's no need to play. Yeah, pretty much all of those tools are excellent nowadays, so just pick whatever you want. Okay, so for this one to work, I think it does need to multi-form on top of this core. So really, oh, nice, awesome, hey, that's awesome. It's actually, it's not insanely difficult, but it is a very nice challenge. Yeah, working on this expansion has been quite fun. Okay, so I think I need an editor, and inside I'm going to need the pathfinding monobehavior editor script. And I think like this, it should work. I just need to make sure using Unity editor. And now I need to, once again, go rewatch my script. Hopefully willing to teach you and push information. Ah, that's awesome. Hey, that's the goal, yeah. Is this course free? The turn-based strategy course? No, that one is paid. Although I did make a free tutorial on the first version, on the prototype that I made. So if you'd like to see the original prototype that I made before making the entire course, you can see that, and you can download the project files for that one. But yeah, the full step-by-step course, that one is a regular paid course. Okay, so right, I need to watch my own video to remember how do you do the custom editors. I don't remember the syntax in the beginning. Oh, is it on the draw gizmos? No, I don't think so. That's for the draw line. That's not what I want. Nope. What's the name? There you go. All right, so I've got to extend editor and do custom editor. All right, so that's the syntax that I was looking for. So make this of type editor, and let's use the, not this, custom editor of type of, and the type is the pathfinding link mono behavior. All right, yep, I think it's like this. And now I think I should be able to do onScene GUI. Now on this one, debug.log. If I do a log, now I should be able to see the log. Champion tracker path. Oh, nice. That was a fun system. Yeah, it's actually something that is surprisingly easy to do. So that's fun, yeah. And like this, and yep, there you go. Got the onScene GUI. Okay, great. All right, so let me... okay, so I had the onScene GUI, and really the only thing that I needed was, yep, that's the thing, the handle.positionHandle. And then I just need to be able to get, all right, it's the target. Okay, so let me try to figure out how this works. So first of all, I grab the target, and the target, this is of type object. So I'm going to convert this into a pathfinding link mono behavior. So that's this guy. And now with this one, I should be able to go, is it handles dot position handle? And this one takes a position and a rotation. So the position is going to be the pathfinding link mono behavior dot position A. What did I call it? All right, because yeah, for editor tools, I probably should make these private instead of public, just so I can access them from there. So over here for the link position A, quaternion.identity. Okay, so in theory, that should show that one. Let's see. Time estimate from when the multiplier expansion will drop. I don't know. I've started I've started writing the beginning parts of it, and I've done quite a lot of research. So I really just need to handle the links and the visibility. Then I still gotta write a lot of things. So hopefully before the end of this month. That's pretty much as far as I can say. So perhaps in 2 weeks, something like that. That's the hope. Okay, right, so now I do have a second position handle, and now I just need to see, all right, that's the thing. I need to do a begin change check. This one gives me the new position. So vector 3, this is going to be the new link position A, and I need to do, what is it, editor GUI in order to do a begin change check, and then editor GUI dot end change check, and this one returns in Boolean if something changes. So if something changes, let me go into the pathfinding link mono behavior, the link position A, and set it to the new link position A. All right, I think that's really it. Do I need to serialize the object? I'm not sure. Specific reason not to use var instead of full class name? Personally, just because I don't like var. I find that var tends to obscure the code more than it helps. So personally, I don't really like it. I don't like being extremely explicit. But there's nothing inherently wrong with it. So if you don't like it, then yep, by all means, go ahead and use it. So yeah, personally, I don't like it, but that's just personal preference. All right, okay, so this working, I can modify this position handle and it shows down. So that's great. Now the one thing is, I would like to know how to hide the default pathfinding link position, the default game object, because that one is pretty useless. So I'll have to do some research on how to hide that one, but at least this one is working, so then I just need to do, can I do the same thing for the second one? So for the pathfinding link position B, and then I put the B on the new B. Like this, I should be able to change both of them, except for that one to move, I just need that one to be offset in order to be able to move it, and I can move it, so now I can put a link over there, and put this link roughly over there, so I know the Y needs to be on 3, and then I can position it roughly like that. So this one is on 6, 3, 14, 6, something, and 12. And there you go. Okay, that's the links. All right, so that's great. Hello from Winya. All right, hi, thanks for being here. All right. Instead of calling handle, why not use an interface? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What interface does the editor use? I'm not sure. Can convert URL to MP3, but doesn't seem to work in YouTube links. I have no idea. I mean, YouTube links, when you access a YouTube link, it doesn't actually give you a video. So you have to somehow seek through the video in order to download all the bytes. Yeah, I don't know. For dealing with HTTP requests, I've only done things where I grab the entire thing right away. So things that have to do with streaming. Yeah, for that, sorry, I have no idea how that one would be handled. That is quite tricky. Okay, right, so... Okay, so that's pretty much all that I need in order to get the editor working. Hey, Desmond says hi. Hi, Desmond. All right, so now that I have this working, the next question is, how do I put the pathfinding links And I think perhaps a good way is, let me go into, oh, let me actually make a nice function. So a public going to return a pathfinding link. No, not the editor. It's not the one that I want, the mono behavior. So this one doesn't need the on-scene GUI. So this one, pathfinding link, get pathfinding link. And this one going to return, going to create a new pathfinding link, and the grid position A, level grid.instance.get the grid position on the link position A. So I do this, same thing for the grid position B. And yep, that's pretty much it. So this returns the pathfinding link. What streams lately? Cool, yeah. I'm definitely trying to do them a bit more whenever I have to do some research. I might as well do it live and try to answer some questions, do some things, so it's always a bit more fun rather than working alone all the time. It's a bit of a different. Hey, greetings from India, nice. Some links are making for stairs and such. Yep, these links can be whatever you want, so it can be stairs, ladders, something like that. Pretty much just connects a position on a grid position on a certain floor to another position. Then visually that can be whatever you want to be, yeah. From the mesh tutorial, a good way to deal with an after image. What do you mean by after image? So I'm only thinking about Dragon Ball, where you got like an after image where they move really quickly. So that would be more of a visual effect. So someone using the VFX ref. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. An after image with a permanent mesh. I guess maybe you could duplicate a mesh. Is that what you mean? Duplicate a mesh and make it kind of like a transparent, like the character trails behind when moving fast. Yeah, I guess that would be one way to do it. As the character is moving around, you pretty much just copy the mesh. You instantiate a new mesh using that mesh data. I assume you're working with a skin mesh render, and I believe you can work with the skin mesh render vertices. So yeah, I guess that would be it. Make a simple flow timer, so every X amount of seconds, it just copies the mesh and just creates that mesh on that position as the skin mesh render continues going. So pretty much just instantiate a brand new fixed mesh. Yeah, that would be a fun effect. That sounds interesting. Okay, what was I doing? Right, so I've got the editor. Okay, so I've got the pathfinding link mono behavior, and basically I just need, let me go into the pathfinding, and I think the best way is, let's make a transform and call it pathfinding link container, something like this. So then I'm going to go pathfinding link list, pathfinding link, not the container, pathfinding link list, a new list. Okay, then for each transform, pathfinding link transform in the pathfinding link container, I cycle through all of the children, then the pathfinding link transform in order to get component, or try and get component, that's probably for the best, out of pathfinding link mono behavior, so out on the pathfinding link mono behavior. So I try to do a try get component on that, then I take the pathfinding link mono behavior and I get the pathfinding link and go into the pathfinding link list in order to add this new one. And that way I no longer need anything like that. All right, great. Okay. So this should actually be working very well already. Now I can easily create all kinds of links. Okay. You keep yourself up to date with new Unity features. Yep, I try. I try to read their blog, keep up to date with all the news, watch various Unity YouTube channels, do all kinds of things. So yeah, I try to keep up to date. And of course, I got contacts with the Unity team itself. So every time they do something new, a lot of the times they send me updates directly. So yep, I try to keep up to date as much as possible. Managing a project with 100 devs. Who's trying to do that? That is definitely tricky. Yeah, that is a whole nother skill set. How do you manage a massive team with tons of people doing all kinds of things? That is definitely one skill set that I do not have. So yeah, if you're trying to do that, best of luck. Okay, so let's make one link there and another one in there. So let's put this one on position 1. And let me make it quite a bit smaller, so on the size of 4. Okay, and let's put a link there and another one there. So for that, oh right, I need to make an empty game object for the pathfinding, crap, I can't write, link container. Let's reset this, and now inside I put on the pathfinding links. So I got this one, and I'm going to have another one in there and in there. So on 0 and 0. Okay, so now I've got these two pathfinding links, so the character should be able to jump either through here or through here, and everything should work. Okay, so let's see. Why is burn while watching? Oh, sorry, but the same thing happens to me with dark mode. Dark mode really burns my eyes, so that is why I cannot use it. And obviously, as usual, I forgot to drag a reference. That always happens, so let me just drag the container reference and try it out again. All right. What GDC conferences? Yeah, I saw there were, I watched a bunch of the Unity ones, but yeah, I actually do have a GDC pass with access to the GDC Vault, so yeah, I've been trying to find the time, but hopefully when I do find time, I can watch some of those awesome talks. And look at that, it did work. Right, so some of you might not know the importance of what just happened, but let me tell you, it is quite amazing. Yeah, so essentially I've managed to create pathfinding links. Let me actually add, because I keep testing this one with, where did I add the things? I don't even know. Yeah, the action points. Let me put it on 10, just so I don't have to test quite a lot. All right, because yeah, this is actually quite amazing. So I can take this character and I can jump up to the second floor. I can go through here and I can jump down or jump up through this one. So yep, I've got a nice connection between both of them. Let's create some more links just to verify that, yep, everything is indeed working perfectly. So where's the pivot on this one? Let me go down and say, yep, I want to make another link on that one. So put this one on 10. Let me duplicate this wall. Put another one on this, 25, and stretch it out a little bit. All right, so let me just make another pathfinding link. And this one I'm going to fall in there and go up roughly around there. So let me put the position. So this one's on 8 and 25. Oh, did I catch it in the middle? Or no, maybe not. Yeah, I think it's 24. Yeah, I think this one might be a little bit too big. It's okay. 24 and on 10. So on this one, let me just... Yeah, this one apparently should be a tiny bit smaller. Is it 9.5? I don't know. I guess we shall see. Let's test. All right. Give the link a little graphic at least. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm only working on the functionality of it right now. Hey, and look at that, it does work. So I can go and now I can jump down through that one, and yep, there you go. So basically just working on getting the functionality working. And yep, then obviously you would put some kind of ladder in here, and instead of the animation being just a falling down animation, you'd have a proper ladder climb animation and so on. But yep, all the logic is indeed working. All right, great. Text version of your great tutorial on your site seems like it's missing a step around when you add the TMP debug prefab. It's been a while since I wrote that, so yeah. Okay, sure. Thanks for the tip. I'll keep that in mind. Let me write a note here. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. Okay. How'd you make it so each person who's watching the video has their character on screen? Well, that's a simple connection with the YouTube API. I've got a bunch of tutorials related to that. So on this page, it's the page where you can customize your character, but on the bottom over here, I also got links to various tutorials that I made. So a tutorial for how I made this transparent Unity window, another one for how I made the mesh-based animations, then how I made an HTTP request from Unity, so that's how I'm contacting the YouTube API in order to get the messages. And finally, these characters, these are the ones that I use in my game, Battle Royale Tycoon, so that's pretty much how I made that. Okay. Alright, so here I created the links, and all of them work, so adding new links to this level is super easy. Just need to add them over here, and everything works perfectly. Alright, great. You're awesome. Hey, you too. Nice. Right, so let me think. What else was I trying to do? So I got the links right now. Okay, right. So another thing that I want is just to make sure that everything does work, let me make yet another floor. So let me duplicate the floor, put it up on 6.001, just so there's no Z fighting. And let me put it something like this. So on 331, not 31, 32. Is that it? I'm always a bit confused. I don't remember when I made the... What is the origin? Right, yeah, it needs to be on an odd number. So yeah, this one is actually on 31, I think. 31.5, either way, just a visual. I'll worry about that in a bit. So, like this. Okay, so pretty much got a second floor there. Let me just add some more walls. So put them on 9, no, 6. All right, then another one over there. So minus 1.5. Yep, something like this. And duplicate this one, put it on 6. All right, so I got a nice third floor. And let's also put a wall just so it makes a bit more sense as to how the character is jumping. So perhaps on 25, something like that. Okay. Let's put it like this. Just playing around the visuals a little bit. All right, okay, great. Anything going on dots and ECS? I think the plan is still to hit 1.0 by the time that the LTS version comes out, which should be sometime soon, I hope. They said a few weeks in GDC, which was quite a while ago. So yeah, I'm guessing the LTS version should be around any time now. And when it happens, yep, I think dots 1.0 should be coming out. So yep, as far as I know, everything that is on the plan. So it's still in the works. As far as I know, it's not abandoned or anything like that. All right, so I have that one. Now all I need to do is go into my level grid. And instead of being 2 floors, let's put and say this world has 3 floors. And for the link, let me make another link. And this one, let's say connect from there and go up onto floor 6, I think. Let me go and just make sure. Yep. So on 4, 24, 4, 26. All right, so got another link, so I should be able to go up there. So let's see. All right. Okay, so let me pick this one up and I can jump onto this link. That's great. And yep, there you go. I can go there and I can go onto this link and I can go into the 3rd floor. All right, that's pretty awesome. All right. Yeah, this has been a fun thing to work on. Being able to add multiple floors really increase the amount of level complexity that you can build. So that is really nice. No kitchen chaos mobile controls come. The answer is whenever I have time. That's the answer to so many of my projects. Yep, it's definitely on my list. So I don't know when, but hopefully soon. All right. Okay, so the multi-floors did work. All right, that's great. Now the next thing that I want to research is how am I going to handle the visibility? That is tricky. If you don't have the wall there. Without the wall is just a visual, so if I hide this wall, the link is still there. So all that matters is that there's a pathfinding link between these 2 positions. So that's pretty much the only thing that matters. So wall or no wall, that's just a visual. So you could add a proper ladder over here. You could add a proper ladder animation. So pretty much just the main thing that I'm working on is just making sure that the logic works. And yep, then it's up to you, up to anyone who wants to implement any kind of visuals on top. So it can be whatever you want. It can be a basic jump animation. That's what I'm using here just because I don't know how to make animations. So yeah, that is why over here I just made a super basic animation, just jumping up, falling down. But this animation can be whatever you want. So yep. So when it comes to climbing ladders, jumping, falling down, that's really just a visual. So it's very easy to add the visuals on top of the logic. Teaching logic so much. Ah, that's awesome. I'm glad the videos have been helpful to you. Given jetpacks. Yep, you could definitely apply some jetpack logic, some flying logic. Pretty much all of that is possible. Yeah. Show what it looks like without the wall. Yeah, the wall doesn't matter. So if I disable this wall, the wall object is no longer there, but yep, you can still go because the link is there. So the link is completely separate from the wall, so it has nothing to do with any visuals. So I can go and he doesn't have any more action points. Ah, crap, now they're going to shoot me. Oh boy, they're going to take 10 steps, all right. But yeah, the wall is just visual, so yeah. Okay, right, so the other thing that I want to research is how am I going to handle the visibility? Because the issue is there's a floor down here, except when I'm up here, it's really hard to work with this one. So I got to figure out some way of hiding these visuals as the camera zooms in and zooms out. So let's see that. All right. I'm not a cartoon monkey. Nope. I'm a regular human just like you. Okay, right. So for that one, I was thinking about some kind of floor visibility script that says what floor it is. And then in order to either show or hide this one, so private void show, in order to make these basic show or hide functions, I'm going to work with the game object renders. So one just shows, one just hides. Yeah, right, just the renderer. Right, yeah. So, yeah, the thing that I need to remember is how was I handling the camera. That was tricky. One of the few YouTubers you can understand without subtitles. Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. Sometimes I'm a bit self-conscious about my weird accent, but hey, if you can understand, that's awesome. I'm glad you can understand it. Yeah. Right. Curiosity, do you plan to do a tutorial on how to make rhythm games one day? That's a very niche genre, so yeah, I don't know about that. I definitely enjoy playing them. I used to enjoy, what was it called? Stepmania. That was it, right? Yeah, that was a really awesome game. I was really addicted to that for quite a while. So, yeah, it was Stepmania. Yeah, really awesome. So yeah, I was really addicted to this, playing just with my fingers instead of with the feet. But yeah, this was really awesome. So yeah, rhythm games, they are fun, but yeah, covering them in the tutorial, I'm not sure. That's a bit way too niche. That's the thing about YouTube. Whenever I dedicate some time to a video, and the videos always take quite a lot of time, several hours. So if I'm going to make something, I need to choose things that might do well. Although sometimes I can definitely afford to do some videos that don't get that many views just for fun. But yeah, who knows? Maybe one day I'll cover that genre. I mean, if I had infinite time, I would love to cover pretty much every genre in existence. But yeah, sadly, I don't have a time machine. So yeah, I wish that were possible, but not really. Right. Nev mesh is in Unity 2D. The issue is that Unity's Nev mesh component that is really made just for 3D. So yeah, if you're working on 2D Nev meshes, then really my advice to you is to use the A-star pathfinding. So that's my advice. Pretty much is get the A-star pathfinding asset, which actually they do have the A-star pathfinding project. They actually do have a free version. That's pretty much how I started when I was first free versus pay. Yeah, when I was first working on my first Steam game, Survivor Squad, and obviously I had no money. So when I started, I was actually using the free version, and I only upgraded to the pro version just when I had pretty much the game completely done. So yeah, if you're working in 2D pathfinding, I would highly encourage you to look into either this one or some other pathfinding solution, because yeah, as far as I know, Unity's NavMesh really is not built for pathfinding. I think they do have, I think there are some extras that make it support 2D, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, I would recommend something like this instead of trying to get that one to work. Okay, so for showing and hiding, basically I just need to remember how was I handling the camera, because I don't remember that. How did I handle the camera? Was it the camera controller? Perhaps? Right, because this one has the zoom, target, follow, offset. Yep, that's what I'm using, right? Yep. Okay, right, so I need to access the camera, so let me make a public static camera controller for the instance with a get and a private set. And let's make a private void awake, and on awake set the instance to this. And now I'm going to need a function, float, let's say get camera height, and I'm going to return the target follow offset.y. Okay, so this, and now on this one, let me go into the camera controller, access the instance in order to get the camera height. So let's see, float for the camera height. And now basically on this one, I need to define how am I going to show it, but it can't be based just on the floor height. Yeah, because if the camera is under, no, if it is, Because I got, what do I do? Do I do, well, let me just do a debug.log just to see what the camera height is like, and then see about other engines compared to Unity. I think nowadays, as developers, we are really spoiled for choice because pretty much every single engine is excellent. So yeah, personally, I love Unity. I keep using Unity because it's an excellent engine, can do anything that I want to do. But thankfully nowadays, pretty much all the engines are great. So pretty much just pick one and start learning it. Okay, why is this not updating, or is it zoomed up? Okay, it was zoomed in. Right, so essentially, yeah, do I do it +1? So when it's on 4, I want to hide these visuals. Is that what I'm going to do? All right. Okay, so let's define a float for the show height. And basically I'm going to show if the camera height, it is bigger than, let's go into level grid and get the floor height. Plus some offset, is that what I do? Yeah, I think, yeah. Float for the floor height offset, something like this. So boom, show height if that one is above that one. So if show height, then I'm going to show, and if not, then I'm going to hide. Okay, all right, so let's try it out and see if this works. Session on a 3D pathfinding solution. Oh, that's... What do you mean by 3D? Do you mean like grids, like voxel grids, or 3D terrain? Because terrain is essentially flat. The question is, do you have positions above other positions? Because terrain with just going up, then essentially you just need a flat pathfinding solution. So that one, pretty much anything works. I mean, either way, I would always recommend the A-Star Pathfinding project. I was telling you about that a while ago. So either way, that's the main one that I would recommend for pathfinding. For super simple things, yeah, sure, I would use Unity's built-in nav mesh, but for anything more complex, for pathfinding, that's pretty much what I would do. Rhythm games are more than just DDR, equipped on Necronet. Yeah, Beat Saber is definitely something that I love. I've spent a lot of time, so yeah. It's another one of those things where if I had a time machine, I would love to be able to have infinite time in order to spend some time researching VR, and yep, I'd love to make some kind of Beat Saber clone to really see how it works. So yeah, that's another one of those things that is permanently on my to-do list, and hopefully one day I will hopefully be able to get it. Someday, maybe. Okay. So if I go in, yep, there you go, at some point that one disappears. Alright, okay, so I think, yeah, pretty much just play around the offset, but at least the logic is right there. So now, the question is, do I apply this? Yeah, I think that's kind of the issue, is that I have to manually apply this component to every single object. Yeah, that's the only downside of this, I think. Yeah, that I need to manually add this to every single one. So I paste component as new, so all of these are on the first floor. This one is also on the first floor. And now this one up here, this one is going to be on the second floor. Now let me copy this component. And on this one, and this one, these are also on the second floor, right? Oh, did I add to this one already? No, that one, you don't have a 2. Let me remove this one. That one is on 2. That one is also on 2. Why did I add to this one? Oh, did I add to the base one? Okay, did I... Oh, right, because I split that one, I think. Anyways. Alright, so... Yeah, the components are a bit odd. It's a bit manual, but let's see if this works. Alright. It's time to learn how to juggle with a pen. Well, I learned that like 15 years ago. That is why I pretty much just know 2 tricks. But yeah, that's not something that I've learned recently. Integrate the manager that holds all 4 references. Yep, definitely. Right now I'm just focused on trying to get it working, and then I'll worry about making it performant. But Yep, so far. So here is the third floor, and as I zoom in, and oh right, because this one's on the second floor. But is that one? Okay, that one should be hiding, but it's not hiding. Let me put the scene view side by side in order to be able to see what is happening. Yeah, why is that one not? Yeah, they all vanish at once. Why? Did I not put it on 2? I did put... Oh, never mind. I didn't multiply it. Right, so the floor height times the... What did I call it? The floor? Not float, floor. And plus the offset. Okay, that is why the second one wasn't working. All right. Tried using UI Toolkit. I've done some research on it, and it does seem... it was already very stable, very much production ready when I first saw it. When I last saw it, which was several months ago. So yeah, by now I would say that one is probably very close to production ready. So yeah, that's another one of those things. As soon as I have the time, yep, I definitely want to make a tutorial in order to figure out how it actually works. Okay, so I think I should increase the thing by a little bit, otherwise it's a bit too hard. But yeah, on the floor height offset, let's put it on 2F. And I just need to, on the camera controller, also make it zoom out by a little bit more. So instead of 12F, let's put it 15F. Okay. Programming is so interesting. Yes, it is. That's why I love it. It's a never-ending challenge. You can do anything. You can build anything. As long as you have the skills for it, anything goes. That is really awesome. Had a chance to play Tears of the Kingdom yet? Nope. I did go ahead and pick it up. Actually got it here. Yeah, I got a nice... Where's my camera? Yeah, nice. So yeah, I went to pick up the copy earlier this morning, but yeah, still trying to get a bunch of work done so that I can then go play a little bit. So yeah, hopefully in a little bit after this live stream, yep, that's the plan. Try to do it, see what it does. I really love playing Breath of the Wild, so yeah. The issue was my Switch was essentially dead because I hadn't, I mean, the last time I used it was when... Was it? Yeah, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu? Was that the one? Which was like 3 years ago. Yeah, that was the last time that I used my Switch. So yeah, I've pretty much just played Breath of the Wild, Mario, and that Pokemon game. Yeah, so yeah, because that my Switch was essentially dead, I was trying to get it alive a while ago. And yep, in a little bit, I want to go play. Right. So yep, the visibility is indeed working. So I can see everything happening on the third floor. I can zoom in order to see everything happening on this floor, and zoom down, and I see everything happening on this one. All right, that's pretty great. Did you say making an RPG game is worth it nowadays? Sure, I mean, RPG means a ton of things, so yeah, it really depends on what you mean by that, but in general, yep, RPG can definitely still be, I mean, depends on your target platform. It really depends on what you mean, but yeah, there are plenty of very successful RPGs. If you ask about platformers, then at that point I would say probably not, because that's really difficult. But RPG is usually kind of like a subgenre, or like a secondary genre, so yeah, you can apply RPG mechanics to tons of other genres, so yeah. Video on how you quickly navigate around Visual Script. Yeah, or not Visual Script, Visual Studio. Yeah, I've thought about making a video on the most used shortcuts, but yeah, for the most part, actually most things aren't really Visual Studio. Like, just instead of moving the cursor one character at a time, you press Control and it goes by the entire word. So this alone is super useful. So that and Shift, that is really useful for selecting a bunch of things. Then just knowing how to select and so on. Then I've got an extension which actually helps me move the cursor up and down by about 5 lines. So this is really good for quickly moving up or quickly moving down. Then what else? Being able to have Control Dash in order to open up something else. So pathfinding, and there you go. I can open up the pathfinding script. Then what else? Control Tab in order to swap between them. You can do Control RR in order to rename things. So yeah, I definitely would like to do a video on a bunch of those shortcuts, because yeah, learning how to use your IDE properly, that definitely helps you in your in becoming a lot more efficient. So yeah, that's definitely something quite useful to know. All right. This become an update for turn-based strategy course? Yep, that's exactly it. So I'm pretty much just researching in order to be able to do the next free course expansion. So, yep. The engine is good for self-expression. A system created for independent developers. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that you can do pretty much anything with Unity and with any game engine. That is actually quite amazing. Do you have any thoughts on Visual Studio versus JetBrains? I don't know. I don't have any. I've heard great things about JetBrains Rider, but personally I haven't tried it simply because I mean, Visual Studio already does everything that I want to do, so that is why I pretty much have no reason to try to switch. Because I mean, pretty much I just use the IDE mostly just for writing code. I don't use any special features or abilities or something like that. So yeah, for the most part, I've only used Visual Studio, but I have heard great things from Rider. So if you don't like it, then yep, go ahead and use it. Okay. Do those guys walking on the lower part of the screen? That's just interaction with the YouTube API. So if you go onto this page, down here at the bottom, I've got the various tutorials where I cover the various things. So it's a transparent Unity window, the characters are some mesh-based animation, and then just interacting with the YouTube API with an HTTP request. That's pretty much it. Alright, so honestly, these two tasks were pretty much the only things that I wanted to do for this live stream. So I guess I could see, okay, so what is the best way for me to handle this? See, that's actually an interesting question with regards to performance. Is this a concern or not? How long? Actually, why don't I try finding out? Let's open up the analysis, the profiler, and let me put on the profile. To make it so instead of making them invisible, you just lower that opacity. For that, basically, you would need to work with the material. And actually, I was thinking of not doing that because it's a bit too complicated, but honestly, it might not be as complicated. Let me just see. If I can easily access, yeah, that's the issue, because this one doesn't take that one into account. Yeah, that's a problem. Basically, the way you do it would be by modifying the alpha, but yeah, this shader that I use over here, this shader does not support changing the alpha, so that is kind of the issue. Visually, the way you do it, you would lerp the alpha in order to make it a lot more transparent. But yeah, if this one does not support the alpha, because yeah, it doesn't, so suddenly, yeah, that makes it quite a bit more tricky, yeah. Oh, a super chat, hey, thank you, thanks so much. Thermal Liberation are using a Toon style shader with the latest couple LTS. After a bigger project, I keep getting GPU timeout on a 40 series. GPU timeout? What do you mean by that? When doing light map baking? Is that it? I mean, that's going to depend on how big is your world, but yeah. Yeah, I'm using where's the asset store? Oh crap, oh, actually I got it. Or no, because I didn't make a thing on it, but yeah, I'm using Quibbly. Where's Quibbly? Quibbly. So yep, that's the asset that I was using. Pre-great stylized shader. So if you want to make things nice and stylized, then this shader is pretty great, has tons of options. So yeah. And if you're having issues with GPU timeout, swap chain, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that error. That's annoying. But yeah, if the issue is with light baking, then the answer is start off on the lowest settings possible and then slowly increase them pretty much. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you mean by GPU timeout. Can you please explain the gaps between Unity and Unreal? I mean, those are different engines. Gaps, I don't know. I don't know enough about Unreal to know what it lacks. I know that Unity is a bit behind on the super high-end things. So Unity is currently working on some pretty amazing, what did I call it? The adaptive pro volumes. So they're working on they're working on something to essentially compete with Lumen, and this one does seem quite impressive. So yeah, that would be one gap, which is how Unreal already has Lumen, whereas Unity is only beginning to work on it. But at least the things that they are working, it does seem quite impressive. There was a GIF with everything working in action. Right, yeah, on this one you can play around. Yeah, you can do a bunch of things. So yeah, this one is still in development, but it looks really great. Yeah, I can't wait for this tool to come out to the to URP. Right now it's already available on the AGRP, but for me I use URP for the most part, so that is why. Oh, that's super chat. Thank you. With FlatKit, heavy GPU, swap chain error with outlines. Okay, I'm not sure. I've never seen that error. I mean, it will have some workload depending on how many objects, how many outlines you're adding. But yeah, with the FlatKit, yeah, I haven't used that one, but as far as I know, that one is supposed to also be pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I haven't used this one. I've only used Quibbly and Pixelizer and a bunch of others. So I haven't used this one specifically, but I would assume they have some optimizations in order to make it work on just one draw call. So yeah, I'm not sure. I've never used it, so yeah, I don't know if it has any issues with heavy workload, the Unity repaint and crashes. Yeah, that's on, because this one has tons of positive reviews, so I don't know, maybe try contacting the developer. I don't know, something like that. Okay, so all right, so I was thinking, so should I upgrade this or not? Because like this, all right, that's what I was doing. I forgot, I got a bit distracted for a while. But yeah, essentially I wanted to open up the analysis, the profiler. In order to enable the profile, let's not record, let's hit on play. Hey, good morning. Let's just start playing. All right, let me select this one. And let's now hit on record. Yeah, right now they shouldn't. Oh crap, something went wrong, or did I pause? Oh, I just clicked on it. All right, so I pick one. And that's the thing. Does this have, yeah, it does have a search. Okay, good. So I was trying to see, okay, how am I going to find my script just in case this one isn't too intense, because right away I'm looking at times in milliseconds. Right away it does not seem to be intense at all, but let's see. So the floor visibility, yeah, it is literally taking 0.0. So yeah. So this kind of, I guess this is a good example as to when should you worry about updating something and when you shouldn't. Because basically this script that I wrote here, this one is technically, it's technically not very performant, because running this script on every update on every single object that has one of those components attached. So supposedly this isn't super performant, but at the same time, as you can see, it is literally taking 0.00 milliseconds. So whilst technically this isn't very performant, whilst technically you could definitely optimize this, as you can see, if it is on 0.0, then probably there's no reason why you should waste time optimizing. So yeah. All right, so let me actually open up something else, since this one was actually easier than I thought. Let me actually go into the UGC project in order to see a bunch of things. Want to learn in Unreal Engine. Can I suggest some course for it? No, sorry. I only know about Unity, so yeah, this is the wrong channel to ask about Unreal stuff. Right. But how would you optimize it? I mean, you would basically have just one manager component where it would cycle through all of them, and pretty much you would only grab the camera height once. It would only do the calculations for the floor height once. It would only call the show if it was actually hidden. It would only call the hide if it was shown. So yeah, there are plenty of ways to pretty much optimize this to make sure that all of these things don't run tons and tons of times and only run as many times as needed. So yeah, tons of things you could do to really improve upon this. So much, oh crap, let's open up the project on the other one. Standalone video on how to connect dynamic utilities like the conveyor belts. Dynamic utility, I mean, the issue with that is that it's a very specific thing, meaning that it's very specific to a specific game. So making something generic about how to connect a power system to a conveyor belt system, yeah, that's kind of the issue. That's one of the problems with making tutorials. How do I make it appealing to not just one type of person, but many people? How do I make it useful to several people? So yeah, that's the tricky part. But yeah, for the most part, it's really you just got a list of items, and you somehow interact with that list by doing something like having power consumers and power emitters, something like that. So yeah, it's a fun system to make. I definitely enjoyed making it, but yeah, making a tutorial on that is quite a bit tricky. Did you manage to get the modding stuff working? Yep, I did. The main thing that was missing was just the how do I unload the things. Showing how to build connections between the nodes. I mean, for the most part, that is really just a list of node A, node B. Each node has a position, and then visually you draw a list. So you draw a line between them. So the visual part or the logic part is really just a list, and the visual part can be whatever you want. So yeah, it's trying to figure out a nice way to present that in a tutorial. That is a bit of the tricky part. But yeah, sure. So I was working on the modding, and it did work quite well. So basically, the main issue was with the meshes, and now I don't remember how I was doing it right. Yep, exactly like this. Yeah. So I got the save, and then I got the load, and it does actually work, right? Yeah, I commented this one out. Hey, good morning. Yeah. So basically, the way that I made it work was by using. I tried to look into how it was possible to load an OBJ at runtime, and the only way that I could find was using the OBJ importer. What was it called? Yeah, I think it was this one. It was, right? Yeah, right, it was this one. So yeah, apparently Unity does not have a built-in way of working, but apparently with that asset, I can essentially take a path for some kind of mesh OBJ data, and I can take that one, I can load it, import it, convert it into a mesh. Then on that mesh, I can grab the mesh data, so the vertices, triangles, and UVs. And then with that mesh data, I can convert that into JSON. Then that JSON, I convert into bytes. So obviously, this is not the most optimized way of doing it, but it does work. Convert that into bytes and save the whole thing. So basically on my demo here, so let me actually stop this one, load this one. And on this one, it actually did work. Hey, once again, thanks for the super chat. Sorry I couldn't be more helpful, but yeah, try to contact the dev. That is probably the best thing you can do. Right, so here, if I go, what about materials and shaders and stuff? Basically for this type of modding, I'm just using textures. So there you go, open up, and here I have a nice little what was it? A battery, right? Yeah, so I added this battery component and it worked perfectly. Basically just got the battery, and then I've got the texture, and I pretty much just take both those and I convert those into this my mod file, or not this one byte save. So this is pretty much the mod file, so just 1.7 megabytes, which contains this, contains the recipe, the so on and so on. So yeah, this actually worked out pretty well. So the UGC research did go quite well. Yep, it does simplify quite a bit, so this is actually quite good. Alright, so yeah, the UGC video, hopefully that should be out soon. I still need to talk with the UGC team in order to figure out if it does work. And yep, for the turn-based strategy, this research was actually quite helpful. So I did manage to do that. Now I just need to write some notes in order to start writing the lectures for the course. And then the free update should be out sometime before the end of this month. But yeah, this was quite fun. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Blender to Unity portal is great. Experimental. What is experiment? There's a package, Blender to Unity. What is the Blender to Unity portal? Blender to Unity portal. Is that a thing, or are you just saying about importing things? Oh, you mean it exports directly from Blender into Unity? Right, but for modding, basically what I need is I need a file, a new add-on. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, basically for modding, I just need a separate file just to have the mesh data. That I need to dynamically be able to load that file in order to create the mod so that other people can load that. So yeah, that's the tricky part, is making it work without having Blender or any kind of 3D modeling in the mix. Right. Can we see your dog when you're done working? I mean, they're asleep, so I don't think so. But yeah, I gotta figure out a way to have multiple cameras, and yeah, then I could point one at them, and that would be a fun second live stream camera. All right, so yeah, so over here the multi-floors expansion, it is working quite well, even though yeah in terms of performance, adding a third level really does make it quite a bit slower. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. So perhaps there will be a third expansion, perhaps working on some performance improvements, because yeah, on this one, yeah, you can see a little sluggish whenever the character moves a different grid position. It definitely slows down by quite a bit, and that's just basically because over here, look at all these game objects, all of the grid system visual. Yeah, this really should be a mesh. So yeah, definitely need to figure out how to optimize that quite a bit. But yep, the logic for having multiple floors is indeed working. So here I have a third floor. I can even zoom in, zoom out. Oh, right, I need to sort that out. Ooh, that's actually a good question. I guess, do I put them on the characters themselves? Because I can take this character and I can go all the way over there. Right, so I can move. Oh, on the floor I also need to... Okay. All right, so... Okay, trying to think, how do I handle this? Because did I use a mesh render? Let me actually... So I thought this one was... Yeah, I guess... Right, I need the renderer. So I think this one is actually already... should already be working. So if I take the unit inside, I take the character, not the character, but the actual skin mesh renderer, and over here I add the other one. So what did I add? What did I call it? I don't remember the name. The floor visibility. So, oh crap, where's the floor visibility? Okay, let me just update this just to make another one. So, bowl dynamic floor position. All right, new super chat. Oh hey, thanks again. It's called Mesh Sync. Works vice versa in real time. So that's for what? That's a Blender Mesh Sync. Oh, it's a Unity thing. Oh, that looks interesting. Synchronizing meshes and models. Wait, so you can edit it inside Unity? Oh, I guess it goes both ways. Is that the thing? Create a server and connects to it. Okay, that seems interesting. Yeah, I have no experience with, or I don't have much experience with Blender, 3D modeling, those kinds of things. So yeah, I can't tell exactly what is impressive, but yep, it doesn't look great to be able to essentially animate and be able to see all of the key points, all of them positioned perfectly. Yeah, that does sound quite interesting. Nice. Okay. KD tree might be handy here. Yep, in order to handle that visibility. But actually the issue is not quite so much with finding the things to show and hide. The issue is basically that right now all of the grid positions on the floor, all of them are instantiated. So that is why, that is the thing that takes the most amount of time. Is that it actually has like 1,000 individual game objects, all of them being shown and hidden and so on. It's possible to somehow open the file manager in Unity and get it to work in the exportable. Maybe you can work with the Windows API. Maybe if you work with that directly, it might be able to work. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Usually for a file manager, inside your game, you really have to build it yourself. So you have to use the regular C# things in order to grab the folders, grab the files, and show them somewhere in the game. But technically using the Windows API might work. So that's pretty much the same thing as how I create the characters down here. So the transparent window overlay, this one works by interacting directly with the Windows API. So yeah, I guess that's where I would try to see how that works. So you've turned the link transforms into vector 3 points on a single. The issue isn't the link transforms, it's with the link transforms, they're not causing any issues. The issue with the slowdown is really just the visuals, because all of these visuals, they are all individual game objects. So as I select all of these are all individual game objects, and that is obviously very costly to have thousands of these. So as I got 3 floors, I essentially got, can I enable them? Yeah, I can't show them all at once, but yeah, pretty much all these positions up here. Let me see, where's this one? Yeah, there you go. That position is in there, and so on. Look at all of these. Tons and tons of them. So this one, for example, which is on a place where it doesn't even exist. But, oh right, it's the grid white, it's the mesh render. Yeah, look at this one. That one isn't even a position that is reachable, but the way that it works right now, it's not even testing for anything. So one quick optimization would be to only create the visuals on actual walkable positions. So that would work. But the main thing is really just convert all these visuals onto a tile map. So that's kind of what I did when I made the tile map quite a long time ago. Yep, this one, the custom tile map. So on this one, pretty much all of these positions make up just a single mesh. So that's pretty much how I would do it if I wanted to improve the performance on this one. Pretty much just convert them all into a single mesh, and that would be quite a lot more performant. To only create them when the character is selected. Maybe. Sure, if you used object pooling, then instantiating just these ones, that could work, but yeah. Anyway, so let me just fix this. My voice is already messed up, so I'm gonna go in a bit. Let me just quickly try to get this to work so that when I have a character and I go up there and over here as I zoom, it hides the walls, but it does not hide that player. So I want to hide that player. So over here, can we do dynamic pathfinding as in real time? I don't know what you mean by that, because pathfinding is always in real time. So I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Do you mean modifying the pathfinding? Because that's kind of what this game already has that. So all of these positions, these are unwalkable because there's something on it. Without baking nev mesh, well, then so you're talking about actually modifying the path. Like for example, over here, this position is not walkable, but if I throw a grenade over there, that one is destroyed, and yep, now this position is now walkable. So that's just updating the actual grid position. So that depends on what pathfinding you're using. If you're using nev mesh, then you've got to rebake the position wherever things change. And if you're using something like I'm using here, so a grid pathfinding system, that depends on how you handle the grid. In this case, it is really as simple as the path node, is that what I called it? The path node, just swapping is walkable from false to true, and yep, there you go, it becomes walkable. Alright, so let me just quickly sort this out. So on the floor visibility, I've got the dynamic floor position. So if this one is true, if so, then let's go into floor, level grid, instance.getFloor. I think just like this, it should work. Of this transform.position. So basically like this, if that one is on that one, you have video on this grid navigation system. Yep, I mean I have a step-by-step thing in the full course, but if you want just the pathfinding, then yep, I've covered the A-star pathfinding algorithm and how it works. It's a very fascinating algorithm. Takes a while to click, but yeah, then it's really powerful. Yep, this is using A-star. Yep. Right, so let's see if this modification changes. Once again, thanks so much for the super chat and for the nice tool hint. That was nice. All right, so jump into that one, and as I go, and no. Oh, right, because, wait, did he? No, because he is hiding, but he only hides. Oh, wait. No, that makes no sense. Why is this one? I guess it depends on the transformed opposition. Yeah, what position does this one have? That's the question. Okay, let me try this out. Or maybe I just didn't change it. Yeah, probably just... Yeah, of course. I just forgot to toggle the boolean. That would do it. Alright. So, let me go up there. And as I zoom in... Yep, there you go. It hides the walls and also the player. Now I just need to apply it over there to that one. But, yep, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I guess I also need a toggle for... Because right now, I would not be able to click underneath because the clicks would be blocked, right? So if I go there, now I try to walk on that lower floor. And right now, if I zoom in, I can see it, but I cannot click on it because I'm actually clicking on top of that. So I need to go underneath, and now it works. All right, so I just need another one. So, oh, did I call it dynamic? Dynamic. So just another one for disable collider. This one is set as false. Can I not rename that? So on the disable collider, let me get a private collider, game object collider. So if I want to disable this collider, if so, then on the game object collider equals get component of type collider. So I get this one, and then down here on the hide, if disable game object collider, if so, set this one dot enabled equals false, right? Because I want to hide it. And if not, put it on true. Okay. So now on this one, well, first of all, let me modify just the unit. Okay, so on the unit itself, on the skin mesh render, dynamic floor position, okay. And then on this one, on this floor, let's disable this collider. And now I should be able to walk when that one is invisible. Okay, let's see. What type of game I make? If you're a beginner, I would recommend you start with super basic games. I actually have a really interesting video that I made a long time ago, which is still very much valid nowadays, which is this one. And basically my advice is start with super simple games, so things like Flappy Bird, maybe Space Invaders, maybe Snake. Start off with those. Those will really give you quite a bit of starting knowledge, and if you can do those, then you should be able to do more complex ones. Okay, so basically the issue is that as I click, it was clicking on the second floor, even as the visuals were hidden, but now the visuals should be hiding also the collider. Now as I click, and there you go, it does move. Alright, awesome. So now I can move around on the lower floor, and on this one I can go into the first floor, and there you go, I got units above, units below, and yep, everything works with multiple grids, and everything works great. Okay, great. Alright, so my voice already messed up, but still, this was quite successful. Tried procedural development. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I've done a bunch of procedural AI, but yeah, I don't know. Will this be uploaded? Yep, this will have a VOD, so yeah. Is there a way to build my own programming language in Unity? You can build visuals. Actually, just a while ago, oh crap, what was it called? The Graph View. I think that's the one. The Unity Graph View API. So yep, you can build your own kind of trees using the UI builder in Graph View. So yep, if you want to do those kinds of things, go ahead and use that one. Use YouTube Live Chat API for getting that. Yep, that's exactly it. I am using that API. I'm doing a basic HTTP request from Unity, so I've got the tutorial on the end of that page. Pretty much just using that in order to contact the YouTube API in order to show it over here. Will this be a turn-based RPG course? Yep, that's exactly the goal. So right now I'm still in the research phase, and I've got to write the entire expansion, and in the end, yep, this won't come out as a free expansion. All right, okay. Okay, so that's gonna be it. My voice is already messed up. I can barely talk. But still, this was nice. This was productive. I did manage to do everything that I want to do, so I managed to do a bunch of research. Now I just need to record the lectures, write, record, edit them, and so on. So yeah, still quite a bit of work, but yeah, this was productive. All right, so nice. Okay, so I think that's going to be it. So thank you all so much for joining me. Let me just set everything up. Let me just go into that one. And all right. Okay, so that's going to be it for me. So I hope you have a pleasant day. I'm going to try to play a little bit of Zelda. That should be fun. So I'm going to try to enjoy that. All right, so yeah. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye everyone.